Welcome to the community show. And in this show, we bring on extraordinary people from different parts of the community that talk about their dreams, their passions, their businesses, anything really, as long as it matters to them. And today we're very excited to have someone that's come all the way from London, from Hackney, because we usually have, more community-based people in High Wycombe. But today we've got Vicky, Pranjali, Vicky Morton.
Yes.
You go by the name of Pranjali, Vicky Morton, is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Which is very interesting. I'm sure there's a big story behind that. It's lovely to have you here and moving on TV. You've come all the way from Hackney in London, and I'm very excited to have you here. So, welcome to the community show.
Well, Lauren, thank you so much for having me today. It's been an honor to meet you finally. We spoke on the phone, we had some long conversations, but it's been beautiful to know you now face to face, and thank you for having me. Yes, I came all the way from London. It's not very far, but it's far enough when the trains are not working. Yes, and I'm very honoured to be your guest.
Well, as I say, I'm very happy to have you here. So what drew you to come to Moving on TV? Because we made a connection on Facebook.
Yes.
And that's a really good way how, we do tend to meet people and make those connections, probably through a spiritual group, or maybe something like that, Course in Miracles, or some kind of spiritual group, I expect. But you contacted me on Moving on TV with all this enthusiasm and energy, very much like myself. I could feel here is a kindred spirit, someone that has done so much in her life. You've done so much in your life. You've been an artist, you're a performer, a dancer, a singer. You've done lots and lots of stuff. And as I say, you contacted me on Facebook and you said you have a lot that you feel you could bring to Moving on TV. So where do we start, Vicky? Or
well,
would you like me to call you?
It's entirely up to you. I leave that to you.
Vicky kind of comes naturally.
Well, then so
okay.
good.
Where do we start?
Well, you are correct. I have done a lot of drama and acting and singing, and I'm still involved in community at the moment with Hackney and choir and group singings, and we all have, I'm working on St. Michael's Got Talent at the moment, so I'm trying to get, old people who have some kind of talent to emphasize and believe in themselves and get somewhere.
So did you say St. Michael's Got Talent?
Yes.
Can you explain a little bit about that?
Yes, it's the local church in Hackney where I attend, and where I have this drive to want to make people's dream come true. Wow. And it's something you do, of course, and I do it locally at the moment. So, but yes, above that, I've also got a small idea of popping up restaurants, which I do my own thing with, to do with Romanian food. I dress the restaurant in Romanian decoration. I dress myself as a Romanian. I cook in Romanian. I serve dressed in Romanian.
So
I sing. So it's like a Romanian evening, which I do that also in places.
So sorry to stop you there, because you originally you were born in Romania.
Yes.
So that's where the Romanian connection obviously comes from, these pop-up restaurants that you're creating lots of different Romanian foods and culture.
Yes.
How fascinating. Do you want to just tell us a little bit about your background, where you were born?
Sure. I was born in Transylvania in Romania.
Transylvania, sorry. That
Yes. Absolutely. And I came to UK when I was 22 and a half. That accounts to about 25 years by now, and I have been here for 25 years, so I am very happy here. I've always been happy to live in London as well, because it just felt home. The people, the culture, so I embraced it all, and I'm very, very happy to be a British citizen and live a life in such a great and a wonderful city where everybody is so unique and unique.
It is. We are special.
So London is a special place for me, and the UK as a country as such.
So going back to the Romanian contact, being born there, and so you're bringing something to London. You're bringing all what the foods. Would you like to explain a little bit of what you're recreating?
Well, I cook the Romanian food specifically because if I have a pop-up restaurant and everything is so authentic, which, as I said, I dress myself in Romanian costume, I dress myself in the restaurant in Romanian decoration, and also the food, the drinks are all Romanian. I made my own Dracula's shot, so it's my own creation, which involves garlic and chilies and so on. So if anybody wants to try it. So I have my own creative way to and I also perform singing because I used to be a professional singer, folklore singer. That's why I dress, that's where I have all the dressing of Romanian traditional costume, and I keep it and have it with me.
How amazing! And so, is there a Romanian, an actual Romanian population where you live? Are there actually Romanian people, or is it just something that you're offering to the general public?
I offer to the general public because when I first came to UK, and that was in January 90, there was only 250 people in the whole UK, Romanians. So I don't really know Romanians, and I apologize for that because I've not had much encounter at the time, and as the years went on, I somehow didn't came across much, and if I did, of course, we kind of. But now I would like to, you know, to bring that and show, and I'm very proud to show that Romanian has more than orphanage and gypsy and so on, which is nothing wrong with that, but everybody has to have an outlook and a view in a better light about things. I believe very much in positivity, as you see that.
Definitely, and it's really exciting the way you're talking about your background and your culture. And as we know, we're very lucky to live in such an amazing country where we all come together. To me, this is utopia. They talk about Jerusalem utopia. I think we've achieved it.
Absolutely.
And England, I think it's a very exciting country.
Definitely.
Where we can bring all our cultures together. So you're very passionate about Romanian culture.
About everything.
But yeah,
especially culture.
It's wonderful. Yes. So you're doing things. So you do this part-time, or how do you do this?
I have a full-time job, but I'm doing it on occasions. It's not on a regular basis. I would like to eventually, but I do it as and when I can. I need to find a place for that. So.
Sure. And this pop-up restaurant, do you do it as a job, or is it as a charity, or how are you running it?
It's bringing community together, giving them a good time and something different, because to me it's a bit of a niche business. There are not many Romanian restaurants in London or UK as such, which I know of. So it's just giving people a taste of something different. People are looking for different things.
It's really interesting.
Yes.
So give us an example of Romanian food. You see, I grew up in Israel, and people came from all over the place, Russian, Romanian, Spain, you name it.
Yes.
So we had food from all over, but it all got mixed up. So what would be a traditional Romanian dish that you would actually serve?
I would say that the most traditional, which is well known, it's a stuffed cabbage, which is beans and rice in a cabbage. I mean, I know Turkish and Greeks do it in vine leaves, and we do sometimes as well. But it's a bit traditionally is cabbage, and that would be I would say one of the traditional.
What's
dishes.
It called?
Sarmale.
Sarmale.
Yes.
There you go. I've learned a word in Romanian today. Like I say, it was really interesting because we all grew up together, children that came from all over the place, Romania, Hungary, Russia, France, Spain, Israel is a bit of a melting pot that way.
I completely relate to that because I also grew up, I remember in my time before I came to UK, with people from Israel, Hungary, Germany. It was normal for us to have neighbours from
in Romania?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I remember, I should have been about 12 or so, 14, when I remember some of my friends from school had to go back to Israel in communist time.
Right.
Yeah, it's something I remember well.
So we're really all part of each other.
Yes.
In a way, we're saying that you mixed with kids, Jewish kids and kids from all over, and so did I. And now we've all come to England to create a better world. And as I say, I do believe that we are doing really well, touch wood, that this is the country where people can be themselves, they can express
and help
themselves
others to
and
be
help
themselves.
others.
Yes.
Now you've had an amazing life, you know, from what I think people that go out there and have got passion to help other people and bring them together. A lot of us have gone through a lot in life, and your life has developed in different ways. So I'm really interested in obviously looking at the whole picture of Vicky. So we've got this person that goes out and does pop-up shops and pop-up restaurants, and with Romanian culture and food. And what else do you do? What else stands out for yourself, would you say?
Well, I work as a full-time, as I said, I work in travel. I have been working in travel for about 18 years now. And that's my full-time job. I have traveled all over the world. I've seen 58 countries, and I'm very proud and blessed to have touched so many cultures, if you like, and meet so many beautiful and wonderful people. I've also, as I said, live in London, where I met so many different kind of people, and I've always had within me the talent, because it never leaves you. It's all about educating it, perhaps, but it stays with you for life, and that's why I had, I had the shows in the drama groups, and I had singing and songwriter, which I'm writing my own songs, poetry. I've done everything, and I still am today. I sing in a choir. I do everything which fulfills my life, because I've always seen a job, a 9-to-5 job, and then your life starts afterwards. To me, a job, it's not about giving you the satisfaction of being happy. To me, a job is to provide the money to then do what you like.
That is very grounded. To me, a job is to have no money and to do everything you love. So I'm exactly the opposite. Yes. At the moment, but hopefully the money will come. But yes. It's really fascinating, that word again. When did you start performing, or did you have any background in the family? Like, did people in your family go around performing in Romania? Like, do you come from anything like that, or where did this all start?
Well, I don't know how many Romanian you met fully, and so, but we are very alive people, very full on. We like life, we enjoy life, and I've always sung on stage from early days.
How old were you?
About I would say 4 or 5.
Really?
In a small village, of course, in Carpathian mountains. But then after that, I performed nationally and I've been on a radio and TV as well.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So what kind of voice have you got?
Soprano.
Soprano?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought you'd say that. So you're classically trained?
Yes, I've got to School of Art for 3 years in my hometown, yes.
Okay. So again, it's interesting that you've come into the spiritual world, the world of,
yes.
We're on a higher consciousness, learning how to connect to each other, learning how to make the world a better place. And a lot of people lately seem to be coming from creative arts. I find that, myself included, creative people are tending to get more into healing and doing more of this stuff, getting into the spiritual world, because we're more open to new ideas, and also because I think we go through a lot in life and it's not always easy to use your creativity. So how did you get into spirituality? Because I know that is a massive part of your life, and you actually trained with one of the biggest teachers in the world, Mooji.
Yes.
If not a lot of people know who Mooji is.
Yes.
So would you like to explain a little bit about that?
Thank you. Of course, I would. With dignity and pride, I will speak about it. It was not something I planned. I was always very sensitive. I was always probably oversensitive. I always felt I'm suffering. I always felt that something, my consciousness wasn't fulfilled somehow. And but I never knew why. So people go along with all the things in the world. You get married, you have children. I don't have children, but I have been married before. Not now. So it comes somehow to me I can only speak for myself. I met Mooji. I was very blessed, and I keep saying that. I met Mooji perhaps well before he became so well known, and I had the privilege and the honor to be around him for some time. And that happened simply by itself through a place in London where I met someone who knew him, and I kind of turned up to his door. I was just after my divorce, in tears, walked in and clearly said my story without realizing who I'm going to, in fact. And then I raised my eyes and he looked at me and he said, okay, well, your story, it's fine, but what about now? How do you feel now? And it didn't make sense. I'm thinking, is he not listening? And when and I said, now, I said, nothing wrong now. And the moment I said it's another story to go into. I felt as if a jacket went off me. Yeah. I was, the sugar in a tea suddenly became one with that tea. Everything, it was like something just happened to me. And my mind at the time was a little perhaps fearful of what's happening, and I thought, this is something not right about it. But I kept going back, and more experience came to light, which we will speak another time perhaps about, much deeper and so on. But this is how I met Mooji, and I'm always very blessed and thankful to the divine for putting me in touch with such person. And I was also very honored that at my when I had my 40th birthday, he called me Pranjali, gave me the name.
Okay, so the name, so you were born...
Spiritual name.
You were born... Vicky Morton is not exactly a Romanian name.
No, my name is Garofina Voikița.
Garofina?
Voikița.
Voikița.
But nobody could say Voikița, so they call me Vicky.
Oh, I see.
So I had
so that's
to
where
accept
the Vicky
it,
comes
yes.
from, which is fine. And what happened to the Garofina?
It's still on my passport.
It's still there.
And
Okay.
I use it for banks and employment.
Okay.
And my Facebook as well.
Okay, so just to explain a little bit, where when people get into meditation or enlightenment, sometimes then they change their name because that name reflects
The new person. as
something
such.
new. It's a bit like letting go of the old,
Yes.
because the whole point of all of this work in spirituality is we're letting go of a lot of the old and stepping into a new life, into a new way of existing. And what you actually said about Mooji, when he said to you, I'm not interested in the story,
Yes.
I want you to, how are you in the moment?
Yes, now.
Again,
yes.
that's something we will discuss more on Moving on TV at another time, the practice of spirituality. But it's all about staying in the moment, because you can't have any problems in this moment, in this second. You're total at peace. And I think what he was trying to say to you was, leave that alone. And we talk about that with life coaching as well, moving on and letting the past go. So, but coming back to your name.
Yes.
So he gave you the name Pranjali.
Yes.
And does it have a meaning?
Yes, it's respectful and holding your hands in a sign of respect and
That's
truthful.
beautiful. So Pranjali means respect.
Truth and respect.
Yeah. Isn't that beautiful?
Yes.
And so he's given you a new name, and it's like your whole life opened up.
Yes, I have to admit I'm probably too truthful to some people or direct, whatever you want to call me. I feel in my heart that I can no longer be anything else but that truth, which I found what truth means, and you find the self. And speaking on this level, perhaps this doesn't quite seem right for people who have had this experience, because once you have the experience, you are no longer speaking as in claiming anything, but from the level of the mind we have to communicate, and conscious level we have to speak as the words in order to understand what we're talking about. So yes, I was very honored. I haven't used it in work because everybody knew me as Vicky, so I kind of, you don't suddenly go to and say, from today I'm going to be a Pranjali, because but get rid of her because something not right.
Yeah.
So for that
people
reason,
can't understand that, but a lot of people do change their names. I mean, I added the after I went through my breakdowns and came through my spiritual awakening, I called myself Lauren Hope.
Yes,
because I think that hope is such an important thing. If you lose your hope, that's it. You know, I think it's the first step towards anything. You need hope. If you don't have that, then you can't really carry on. So I felt, so to me, I gave it's an English name, but it meant a lot. So I put that name, Lauren Hope, in there.
Yeah, very good.
And I think that it does have an effect on you when you when you have a name is very important. Words are important. We were talking about the name Pranjali. Pranjali that Mooji gave you.
Yes.
And so basically how you went to work, and of course you didn't feel that you could use that name at work because people didn't accept it, and not everyone accepts these things where, you know, people become enlightened or change in some way.
But it's not something you speak about, and it would have, to me, to anybody in a work world, it would seem a bit odd. Somebody just come next day to work and says, I've got a new name now, so that's what you have to use. I'm enlightened, there I am.
Yeah. But I mean, we do live in a very enlightened world where people become, men become women and women become men. You know, it's very open and different, isn't it?
Yes.
So a name change is not a huge thing, but still there are a lot.
I've always used Pranjali with the people who around Mooji, friends which knew myself and so on. So that it has been used and it is used, and that's why I put my name on Facebook as Pranjali Vicky Morton. And Morton is not my Romanian name, of course.
Yeah, but was that your married name?
My married name, and the reason why I kept it was so much easier to than have to spell it, my long name. So that's why I kept it, for a very short and easy way to communicate on the phone and so on. And it helped because I worked in travel and I had to sell, and first thing was ask, how do you spell it? And I was wasting too much of my time talking about my name.
But it is also interesting that you chose to work in travel, someone who is so cosmopolitan like yourself and has been all over the world. Did particularly attract you to doing a job like that?
Well, Lauren, I worked in tourism back in Romania, and it's how I met my ex-husband, who was English, by the way. From the name you can tell. So I did have a background of working in leisure and tourism, if you like, and then coming to UK, I did work for Estee Lauder for some numbers of years as an account manager. I'm a makeup artist and skincare specialist, yes, as on top of that, yes. And I did well with that, but then travel was something which encouraged me, because I have been traveling a lot once I came to the West. I met so many cultures and new people, and I felt that I have to be part of it because I loved it so much. So, and then I did work, and I'm doing a good job. I worked in leisure for 13 years, and I've been working now in corporate for the last 5.
So you're a really good example of someone who has loads of different things they're involved in, that creates the whole of you. So you're bringing all sorts of different parts, like you write, you sing, you act, you dance, you
meditate,
you do everything, and and you seem to be able to do it in a way where it's not actually destroying your life, because sometimes when people run around doing loads and loads of things, they break. How do you do it?
Well, simplicity is too simple to be understood by the mind. One. Okay. Secondly, once you are yourself, then you can be anything else. So this is where it comes from. Once you have your self, you realize yourself, as we say it, then you can not be not yourself, and then you can become anything else. So everything else you do, it's just part of what feels right within, and it's no longer a burden.
Isn't this, in a way, maybe it's because you didn't have children? I mean, because I identify with that. Because I didn't have children, I have so much more freedom to do things that I want to do, because I'm not always worrying about the kids and paying for their education and everything. I wouldn't be able to do for 90% of what I do, and that wouldn't be able to. I wouldn't be able to be myself.
In my understanding, you could have 10 children. My mother had 7 children, and she still had a life of her own. So I learned that you can do. She had a job. She had us. She had her housework. She had field work. So she had and did it all. So somehow some people are more prone through more experiences than others. So I feel that I would say I'm blessed to have had so many experiences, and always not. I never just had a normal life. Like it never. Everything happened. Always happened something. I started writing so many books about the event, and by the time I was halfway, another event will happen, which I found it to be more important than the last one. So in the end, I didn't finish all the books because I realized you can't keep up with life. You're actually living in a past, writing your book, and you miss the moment of now, and there is nothing else but that.
Well, I think you've got a really good attitude, because you also hold down a job and you earn money. And you see some creative beings, mainly myself, as I say, I've not got that grounding. And you've managed to create a life where you're doing loads of things you enjoy and also earn money and keep a job. So that's really a good balance.
Well, this is the whole point of focusing on finding yourself and be the yourself, be that truth what you are, because then all the things outside do, they no longer have that effect on you anymore. You no longer feel, I've got to pay this bill, I've got to drive these kids, I've got to do this. You do automatically because it's part of your life. So everything you touch becomes, it's you. So then it doesn't, it's not, I don't know how to word it perhaps, but it's no longer something you have to adjust to. It's like brushing your teeth. You, how many times you sit in a bathroom for several minutes thinking, right, I'm going to brush my teeth, which tooth do I start with? You don't, you just do it. And that's what everything, practicality becomes, and how it should be for everyone. I do not believe that we came on this earth to suffer.
No, I don't know that.
And if anybody is stuck in suffering, I can help. Because I don't believe in that. I believe we came here to enjoy and experience life and live to the best of our abilities. Because if you look at the word of responsibility, which we often was speaking in a past with Mooji about it, it's not a burden to be responsible as in carrying all this heavy weight on your back. The word itself says responsibility, ability to respond for the moment. And once you responded to whatever event takes place, then you've done your job. Then, you know, because you don't go on a train from London to High Wycombe, let's say, and keep my luggage on my back when the train is carrying it. So once you realize that the self is what sustains the whole universe, then you put the luggage down and you say, okay, well, I put it on a train because that's the train I'm taking to High Wycombe, and then the train carries the luggage and myself.
Yes, I get what you're saying, and it's really incredible. What you're saying, and some people will get it, some people will not understand exactly where you're coming from.
You do what you have to do.
But you do, as you say, I totally 100% believe that we're here to be joyful and happy, but I know that a lot of people are going through a lot because they've been brought up in a certain way, because they haven't been taught that. They've been brought up with a lot of fear, and unfortunately when you look at the world out there, a lot of mental illness, myself included, when I went into therapy and I was broken, where you're totally consumed with fear and you're consumed with dreams that you couldn't achieve because you didn't know how. But what I really love about what you're saying is, and I remember when I first started getting into meditation, spirituality, I think it was transcendental meditation, where they give you a mantra, and we're talking about, I was very young, probably about 16, it's probably 17 I think, and I remember them saying to me that when you get into this vibrational and this consciousness, you will go to work, you will be cleaning toilets, but you will be feeling good inside. It doesn't matter what you're doing. I haven't got there yet. And I go up and down a bit, and you know, the world has taken its toll in lots of ways, but it's getting better, and I do work on myself continuously, and I do a lot of meditations and stuff that help me get to there. But I'm saying that it's beautiful when you actually get to that level where you can be a complete person without needing anything else, But again, as I say, it is needed to be taught. It's not always an obvious thing, and because, as I say, there's a lot of out in the world out there. There's a lot of poverty. There's a lot of people that are it could be sitting there saying, "Oh, it's all very well for you. I've got a home," but but they're homeless. And that's the kind of people that I feel moving on TV is very, very important for all of us.
All of us. Yes.
It's there for anyone who believes, or even belief may not be the right word,
Trust.
who is ready to think that there is a better
And trust
way,
that there
and
is.
to be able to start building a little bit of trust.
Yeah.
Then this is what we're here for. We're here for everyone. So if a person hasn't got a home and they're living in a shelter, but they've got a dream or a passion, then this is where they need to be.
Yeah.
So just we'll be finishing soon, but we've got so much to bring to Moving on TV. And so in the next few minutes, just what would you like to bring here? Because I know you're involved with loads of charities and community groups, and we would love to be able to run Moving on TV all day. I would love to be running it all day and earning money and also doing it properly. So what do you feel you would like to bring? Would you like to host? Would you like to present? Could you tell us what you want?
Absolutely. I am in so strong, shall I say, a feeling and beautiful space of wanting to make things happen for everyone, and you have to start somewhere. So my very intention is that I'm so happy that I can bring people together, express themselves, be themselves, and remain as that, and stay as the self and true which they are. We are all queens and kings, we just don't realize it, and this is the main thing. We need to start with yourself, and once you keep hold of that, then every talent you have, everything you feel you want to do, there is ways of doing it and getting there. So in honesty, I like to host, I like to bring all these shows on, which helps everything and everyone, regardless of background, culture, spirituality, and age. Absolutely. It's all about showing the world that we can be. And you don't have to be anything in particular, but be yourself. And when you have that strong presence and you know that you are, which you all know but we don't realize it, once you are that, then that takes care of the rest.
It's wonderful. So that's what we have to look forward to. We've got Pranjali, who's going to come on and is going to enlighten our world. Look at her, look at the energies and the excitement and the passion. We all want to be like that. We all want to be happy, and we all want to be energetic, achieving everything in our lives. So it's been wonderful having you here. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
And we look forward to you hosting and presenting and doing whatever you need to do.